So I'm going to shift to Ann Cush for a moment, our resident expert on our corporate action software solution. Do we have insights into the dynamics of custodians servicing their clients with relief at source or reclaims?
Sure, Ramana. So I think the custody chain has been touched upon on my LEN. So the whole dividend and tax reclaim payment chain is highly integrated. So the investor might appoint a bank as a global custodian. Then there could be a sub custodian who could be then talking to a depository and tax authorities. And we talked about the relief at source process, but with this complex intermediated chain, what is important for withholding agent or tax authorities to be able to give you relief at source is to know the identity of all the beneficial owners before granting the relief at source. And that means a lot of complex information has to flow through this chain in digital or paper form and in short time frames to enable relief at source. Now, all investors would definitely, to get the maximum returns on their portfolio, would want relief at source. But I mean, we heard already from Bill and Len, this is not always possible. The other thing that complicates this is the account structures from the custodians, because from custodian's perspective, to gain cost efficiencies in processing, pooling of custody assets into omnibus accounts or single rate pool accounts is definitely much more efficient and saves a lot of cost for the custodian. The challenges that it creates is around the transparency of the underlying beneficial owners, documentations, as well as the location of positions in those accounts. And the custodian needs to have all that right information at the right time to be able to process a relief at source. And with all the fees pressure on custodians, basically there's enormous effort required for all this documentation, reconciliation, and processing. And with all the fees pressure on the custodians, I think the investment that they're doing in digitalizing these processes, investment in technology around tax return, that is getting more challenging for them. And in the end, they could give up, for example, chasing the client for the documentation, or they might not proactively look at portfolios of customers and past payments, something like what Loc Tax does to tell them what could they gain if they start doing certain documentation for a certain market. So this is creating a negative impact on the investors. And if you look at retail segment, then like many brokers or neo brokers, they won't even offer tax reclamation services. They only offer very limited services. And the whole challenge of having expert operational team which oversees and manages these changing tax procedures that Bill and Lynn touched upon, these are continuously evolving. The markets are fragmented, procedures are fragmented. So maintaining that operational expertise and the technologies is again a challenge for some of the neo brokers. And so it's overall the processing is hard, and custodians kind of struggling with the same challenge.